watch this shit over and over.
Shh. Let me see breasts. I want to see Jamie Lee's breasts. When do we see Jamie Lee's breasts? Right? Not until Trading Places in '83. Jamie Lee was always the virgin in horror movies. She never showed her tits until she went the jits.
Could afford a decent pair.
What'd you say? That's why she always outsmarted the killer in the big chase scene at the end. Only virgins can do that. Don't you know the rules? What rules? You don't... Jesus Christ, you don't know the rules?
I have an aneurysm, why don't you?
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex. Big no-no! Big no-no! Sex equals death, okay? Number 2, you can never drink or do drugs. No, the sin factor. It's a sin. It's an extension of number 1. And number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
You get another beer, you want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back!
You seem to push the laws and you end up dead. Okay, I'll see you in the kitchen with a knife.
What's going on, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming back to you with another film review, and this time we're going to do some horror. I don't think I've done horror in a while. So when Scream came out, I wasn't able to go see it in theaters, obviously, because it's rated R. And I was kicking it with some friends of mine at their home, and they had a VHS. They had rented it, I think, from Blockbuster. Yeah. And we started watching it, and I was like, this was good. And they're like, wait, though. They just kept telling me, just wait until you went to it. You're going to be shocked. You just watch. And we were watching it, and I was shocked in regards to who got killed. One of them, I was just kind of like, really? Oh, okay. However, it didn't dawn on me until I saw the film. I saw it multiple times, and I realized that the same guy who made Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven, the late Wes Craven, made Scream. He had a couple Easter eggs in the film. And I watched the first one, and I loved it. It was amazing. It's probably one of my favorite horror films of all time, because not only was I love whodunits, but it was also, the characters were just crafted very well. They weren't your typical just stupid characters. The male characters were strong. The female characters were strong. There wasn't just bimbos in the movie, and every character had an opportunity to survive. It was one of those things where it's just a luck of the draw, flip of a coin, where if they were going to make it or not, just based on being on their feet kind of thing. That's the best way to describe it. But it was great. Loved it. There's nothing I didn't like about it. Neve Campbell, Ryan Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, the gentleman from Happy Days, he was in here too. I never watched Happy Days, but the guy, I think it was from Fozzie. Rose. Oh my goodness, Rose McGowan, the gorgeous Rose McGowan. She was in here. and Courtney Cox and David Arquette. And just... Oh, Drew Barrymore. And it was just a great film. Loved it from beginning to end. I don't get scared with horror films. I'm never like, it wasn't like that. It was just like, okay. It was just entertaining. Like I'm eating some popcorn, just like, what happens next? It was just one of those films. It wasn't too, well, take that back. Actually, there's two versions of this film. There's the uncut version, and then there's the most of the theatrical as well as just what you can get your hands on version. There were some scenes, I think, towards the middle and the beginning and the end that were considered that made the film on NC-17, and they had to tone those two scenes down to make it rated R. However, I believe it was on Laserdisc. Yes, and a Laserdisc was this big giant CD that you would pick up and put in to watch. I think it was the Laserdisc format that had the uncut. But as far as I know, I haven't come across anybody that has the actual uncut of the beginning of the film, and especially some of the stabbing scenes at the end of the film, where they were a lot more gory, but they toned it down just a bit to make it rated R. As far as just the story, it was good. It was memorable. My favorite character is Ryan Kennedy's character. Is that his name? I think it's Ryan Kennedy, but his Randy. That was my favorite character, just because I watch a lot of films, so. To me, that was my guy. I totally, vibed with him from beginning to end. That was who I would have been in high school. Just into the video games and the movies and just having fun. I wouldn't have been part of the scene of everything else. So I totally saw myself in Randy. I really loved him as a character, and I liked everybody else, but especially him. I'd say if you've never seen Scream, this is more for youngsters, watch it. You will not be disappointed. And especially when you find out who the killer is and just their behavior now that it's official. Totally just like 180. And it must have been really hard for you to maintain your composure to where you weren't acting how you really felt about certain people. I bet that must have been really hard. Oof. Definitely psychotic. So my rating for the film is a 5 out of 5, yes sirs. And if you've never seen it, check it out, watch it, however you want to go about it. But you got to see this film. It's probably one of the greatest horror films I've seen that came out of the 90s for sure. Hands down. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.